Hello guys, so in this video, we will discuss about our overview case. The title case is The Tragic Case of Shireen Abu Akleh, a journalist who was killed by Israeli forces in 2022. So before we will explain about our overview case, let we introduce ourselves. Firstly, it started by me. My name is Juvarel Presnulian Tamba. My nickname is Juvarel. My student ID number is 12.
Hello, my name is Ramosta Stefani Kailais Manjuntak. My nickname Ramosta. My student ID number 2.
Hello, my name is Trisuci Ramadhani Samosir. My nickname Suci. My student ID number 5.
Hello, my name is Nabila Putri Zaliati. My name is Nabila. My student ID number is 8.
Halo, my name is Dwi Intan Permatasari Sinaga. My nickname is Dwi, and my study ID number 9.
So we are a group of this team, a team of 5 students from Faculty of Law, University of North Sumatra. We will take you through the details of this case, the investigation by the United Nations, and the broader implication under international law. So the first part is the background of this case. So the background of this case will explained by Ramos.
The background to this story is the fatal shooting of Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh on May 11, 2022 in Jenin in the occupied West Bank. Abu Akleh and her fellow journalists were covering an Israel military raid on a refugee camp when they were shot at despite currently wearing the red vest. The shooting resulted in Abu Akleh's death and the wounding of another journalist. The incident sparked controversy and international investigation into who was responsible for Abu Akleh's death. Despite evidence from multiple independent investigation and international forces pointing to Israel military forces as the shooter, the Israel military denied responsibility and claimed that Abu Akleh was shot by Palestine. However, this claim was refuted by investigation that showed that the Palestinians were not in the direct line of fire of the group of journalists at the time of the incident. The controversy highlights ongoing tension in the region and the debate over the safety of journalists in comfort zones.
Okay, so that is the background of this case. Thank you, Ramasta. You explained this part. So the next part is the timeline. So what is the timeline of this case? So the timeline is when the following is a timeline of the shooting of Al Jazeera journalist. Her name is Shireen Abu Akleh. We can call her name is Shireen, based on the UN investigation report in May 2022. So the first, it is the uncertain time early in May 2022. Shireen Abu Akleh, an Al Jazeera journalist, was in Jenin refugee camp, West Bank, to cover Israel military offensive in the area. The second is on 11 May 2022 at the morning. So in Abu Akleh wearing a clear press vest was with several other journalists covering an Israeli military operation. The third is Abu Akleh was shot in the head by Israeli troops despite appearing to be a journalist. And the last, in 11 May 2022, civilians who tried to provide aid were also shot by Israel forces when approaching Abu Akleh. So it is the timeline of this case. So what is the formulation of the problem? So in the formulation of the problem, number one is how is the UN investigation into the death of journalist Shirin Abu Akleh going? Number two, what the legal basis does the UN use to conclude that Israel forces shoot Shirin Abu Akleh without clear justification? And the number three, how the UN findings impact international relations, particularly regarding Israel policy of dealing with journalists in conflict areas. So the formulation of the problem we will um, uh, explain in the part of this discussion. This part of one will be explained by Suci.
Number one, the UN investigation progress into the death of journalist Shirin Abu Akleh. The UN investigation into the death of journalist Shirin Abu Akleh is being conducted by the UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the occupied Palestine territory, including as Jerusalem and Israel. The investigation aims to gather evidence related of the human rights violations and crimes committed in the context of the Israel-Palestina conflict, including the killing of Abu Akleh in May 2022. The report concluded that Israel progress used deadly force with justification when shooting and killing Abu Akleh in clear violation of the journalist's right to life. The report linked the killing of the militarizations of Israel law enforcement operations in the West Bank, including Jenin, where Abu Akleh was shot. The UN Commission also stressed that the killing of Shirin Abu Akleh was part of a pattern of extremist and disproportionate violence frequently used by Israel security forces. In education, they also stated that this incident was an attack on journalists was how be protected under international law. The UN body recommended that Israel fully cooperate with the U.S. investigation into the killing of Abu Akleh, and they pledged to provide the evidence gathered to the International Criminal Court for further investigation into war crimes in Palestine.
So in number two, we will talk about legal basis the UN used to conclude that the troops Israel shoot Shirin Abu Akleh without clear justification. So in this part, the legal basis used by the UN including that Israel forces shoot journalist Shirin Abu Akleh without legitimate justification under international law comes from several instruments of international human rights law and international humanitarian law. The following are the legal basis and relevant articles. We will start by part one. There is a Universal Declaration of Human Rights or UDHR. Article 3, everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. This article states the basic to life, which is violated when a person is killed without a legitimate reason, as in the case of Abu Akleh. In the second, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, Article 9 at 1, every human being has an innate right to life. This right must be protected by law. No one should be deprived of their life arbitrarily. Unjustified killing by the state, including security forces, constitute a violation of the right to life protected under this article. The third is talk about Geneva Convention 4 in 190 and 49 relative to the protection of civilian persons in armed conflict. In Article 27, there is states that the civilians must be protected and treated with respect without discrimination, including during situation of the armed conflict. In Article 51 prohibits all form of attacks against civilians and emphasizes that they must not be the target of the right attacks. In the case of Abu Akleh, who was clearly a civilian journalist, the deliberate shooting of him violated this protection. The last part is UN Basic Principle on the Use of Force and Firearms by Law Enforcement Official. In Principle 5, when the lawful use for and firearms cannot be avoided, law enforcement officer must, in part A, exercise self-control in such use and act in accordance with the seriousness of the violation and the legitimate purpose to be achieved. In part B, minimize the damage and injury and respect and preserve human life. In part C, ensure that medical assistance is provided to any injured or affected person at the earliest possible time. And the last part is D, ensure that the family or close friends of the injured or affected person are informed at the earliest possible time. Provides that law enforcement officer must to use proportionate force, with deadly force only being used as last resort. Israeli forces shooting of Abu Akleh, who pose no immediate threat, violate this principle. In Principle 9, law enforcement officer may not use firearms against person except in the self-defense or in defense of other against imminent threat of death or serious injury, to prevent the commission of a particularly serious crime involving a serious threat to life, to apprehend a person who poses a danger and resist their authority, or to prevent his escape, and only when less extreme means are inadequate to achieve this end. In any event, the use of lethal firearms may be used only when absolutely unavoidable to protect life. The use of deadly firearms can only be justified in circumstances where it is absolutely necessary to protect life.
And problem number 3 is problem discussion number 3. The UN findings impact international relations, in particular regarding Israel's policy in dealing with journalists in conflict areas. Number 1, referral of case to international court. The UN findings have strengthened the case for referring the murder of Shirin Abu Akleh to the International Criminal Court, or ICC. This could worsen Israel's relations with the international community and increase pressure to be held accountable for actions deemed to violate international law. Number 2, international criticism. A UN report that shows Israel's action as human rights violations has drawn widespread criticism from the international community. Many countries and international organizations have condemned Israel's action and stressed the importance of protecting journalists in conflict. Number 3, journalist protections policy. The UN findings have emphasized the importance of protecting journalists in conflict. This could influence Israeli policy and force the government to improve conflict management procedures that are more oriented towards protecting civilians, including journalists. Number 4, political support. The UN findings have certain political support for Palestine and criticism of Israeli policies. International organizations such as the International Federation of Journalists, or IFJ, have condemned Israeli attacks on journalists and stressed that these actions constitute war crimes. Number 5, rising tensions. The UN findings could increase tensions between Israel and the international community, especially in the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This could affect regional and international political dynamics, as well as worsen the situation in the conflict area.
Okay, thank you, Nabila, for your explain about the number 3 and Trisuci, the number 2. So it is there is the discussion of this case. So the next part is the conclusion will be explained by Dwi Intan.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I will present or briefly explain the conclusion of this case. The shooting of Al Jazeera journalist Shirin Abu Akleh by Israel forces in Jenin, West Bank, has sparked international controversy. A UN investigation concluded that Israel forces used lethal force without justification, despite Abu Akleh being a journalist. The UN investigation also found the killing violated international law, particularly human rights and protection of civilians in situation of armed conflict. The UN used legal grounds such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, and the Geneva Convention to declare that the shooting violated the internationally granted right to life. The result of this investigation have implications for international relations, with increasing pressure on Israel to be accountable and ensure the protection of journalists in conflict areas. The findings have also increased global criticism of Israel's policies and could have implications for its diplomatic relation with the international community as well as the dynamic of the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Overall, this incident highlight the importance of protecting journalists in conflict zones and encourages policy improvements to avoid future human rights violation. Maybe that's all. I will turn it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dwi Intan, for explain this part. The last part is the conclusion. Yes, then we have a note that concludes our discussion on the shooting of Shirin Abu Akleh, which has become a significant symbol in the fight for the protection of journalists in conflict zones. As future professionals in the legal fight, we are called upon to uphold humanitarian values and enforce international law, ensuring that human rights violations like this do not happen again in the future. We hope that through this analysis, we can all gain a deeper understanding of the importance of protecting those on the front lines of delivering the truth. Thank you for your time and attention. So, see you in the next opportunity. Remember to always learn, understand, and uphold the law for the greater good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.